something, the more you're able to make quick decisions about it. Okay, make quick decisions about it. And so that's kind of what we're going to talk about today when it comes to our reading. The more and the more and the more you study characters, and the more and the more and the more you think about characters, you're going to start understanding them better. You're going to start understanding people better. And one of the things that we need to look at is, what do people want? Okay, what does the character want? So, for example, in the chapter with Rob, and he's sitting there, and he's outside of the cafeteria, and all of a sudden he has the note, he has the picture of the tiger somewhere, he has the note saying he never has to go back to school again, and then all of a sudden Sistine comes flying out, and there's this big group of kids around him, and he wants to do something. What does he want to do? He wants to help her. He does. He wants to help her, but he has an obstacle. Okay? There's something in his way. What might be in his way for helping Sistine? Talk to your partner. I understand your hand's up. You can ask me afterwards. You can ask me afterwards. I don't accept questions during the lesson because it takes time, and time is important. I'm sorry. What's up? What's the problem? All right, 3, 2, 1. What is his obstacle? What is his obstacle? Yeah.
I think that when Sistine was rude, so in the bus, so he thinks she's not going to.
Well, so you think maybe his thoughts of Sistine are an obstacle for him helping her? He does in the end of the chapter, though. He does help out. What might be another obstacle that he has? Yep.
Like himself.
Himself? What about himself?
Like that he's like always. He don't talks a lot with people.
Okay.
Like always.
So what you're both doing, Geronimo and Luciano, is you're using evidence from previously in the book to support your ideas. So you're both doing that effectively. Geronimo said, well, they had a bad time. You know, she was rude to him. So that's why she's not doing it. Luciano's saying, well, no, it's because more about him and inside. And that he shrugs and doesn't care about stuff, and that's the obstacle, is more himself. So you both have ideas and you both have points. Okay? And maybe some of us agree with more than one, and some of, and less of the other, and that's fine. But the work that we do is that. We think about it, we write it down, we have evidence. Okay, so congratulations on those 2 points. And again, sometimes it is blurry, and sometimes you have to read the whole book to figure it out. Okay, but it's important to do that work now. And so what I want you to do is, every time you think about characters, and every time they're doing something, think about what they want. What is driving them? What do they want to do, and what gets in their way of doing it? So what I want you to do now is I want you to think about a book either you're reading right now or that you finished recently, if you just started a new book. And I want you to think about that character. And I want you right now to jot down some ideas in your notebook.
About that character.
About that character. What do they want? What do they want?
So
well, probably the page about books. Maybe title a page with the title of the book on it. So, what are some things that your character wants, and what are some obstacles that are in their way?
Mr. Liza, I don't know yet because my book is start new.
We don't need to write like yes. And what you think your character is want, and what is the problem?
What are the questions?
What does your character want, and what might be the problem?
At this point, in the last minute, what I want you to do is, what was the point of the mini lesson? Okay, try and actively recall what was the big idea that we talked about. And I want you to write that down in your book, or in your notebook, on the mini lesson page. After you do that, you are going to hand it off to someone sitting next to you, and they are going to sign it with their name, especially if they agree. So you are going to sign that the person sitting next to you did, in fact, write down what they think the mini lesson is about. Maybe you can put a check mark if you think it's right, a squiggly line if you think it's close, and a question mark if you're not sure. How's that? So sign your name. You're going to trade notebooks with somebody sitting next to you. You're going to read what they wrote, what they thought the mini lesson was about. You are going to write your name that you did, in fact, read it, and then you are going to do a check mark if you think it's spot on, a squiggly line if you think it's you're like, I think that's close, and a question mark if you just don't know. Okay?
You can do a smiley face.
A smiley face, yeah. Smiley face if you like that. Huh? You're trading it. Another 30 seconds.
But Mr. Light, if your partner forgot to write the mini lesson.
So it's straight on. Because Amelia is only writing.
You should be quick. The mini lesson's like, write it in 30 seconds or less. You shouldn't be writing a novel. All right, so each and every day that you read, you need to pay attention to what your character wants and what is getting in their way. What is their obstacles? Okay, that's going to tell you a lot about the character, a lot about the story. You can have your 5 minutes of diffuse time now.
Let's play this thing. I can remember. Stingy. It's called Stingy. And wait.
Ay,